Let's move on to Introduction to Lists in C#. In C#, lists are dynamic collections that allow you to store and manage a group of objects. Unlike arrays, which have a fixed size, lists can grow and shrink in size as you add or remove items. This flexibility makes them ideal for situations where the number of elements isn't known in advance. In this lesson, we will explore the essential operations you can perform with lists, including adding, removing, searching, and iterating through elements. Don't worry if this feels new at first. Now we're on creating a list. To use lists in C#, you need to include the system, collections, generic namespace. A list can be created using the list class, where T represents the type of elements the list will hold. Here's how you can create a list of integers, the samples on screen. Walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. Now adding elements to a list. Once you have created a list, you can add elements using the add method. Here's an example that demonstrates how to add numbers to the list. This example demonstrates creating something new. Review the sample on screen. After executing the above code, the list numbers will contain 3 elements: 10, 20, and 30. Let's move on to removing elements from a list. To remove an element from a list, you can use the remove method, which removes the first occurrence of a specified value. For example, see the example on this slide. Pause if you want to study the details. After this operation, the list will contain the elements 10 and 30. If you want to remove an element by its index, you can use the remove at method. Here's how you can remove the first element. The samples on screen walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. After executing this line, the list will only contain 30. Now searching for elements in a list. To check if a list contains a specific element, you can use the contains method. Here's an example. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. The variable has 20 will be false since 20 was removed earlier. You can also find the index of an element using the index of method. See the example on this slide. Pause if you want to study the details. The variable index of 30 will be set to 0, as 30 is now the first element in the list. This section covers iterating through a list. C# provides several ways to iterate through the elements of a list. One common approach is to use a for each loop. Here's an example. The samples on screen walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. This loop will print each number in the list to the console. Another way to iterate through a list is by using a for loop. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. In this lesson, we covered the basics of working with lists in C#. You learned how to create a list, add and remove elements, search for elements, and iterate through the list. Lists provide a powerful way to manage collections of data dynamically, making them a fundamental tool in C# programming. Now put what you've learned into practice. First, create a list of strings to hold the names of your favorite movies. Also, add at least 5 movie names to the list. Also, remove 1 movie from the list. Also, check if a specific movie is in the list and print the result. Finally, iterate through the list and print each movie name to the console.